Hello, traders, and welcome to the market opening preview on a Tuesday, January 26th, 2016. Traders, great to be with you in the beginning of our trading week. Remember, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our site at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, big day ahead, a lot of data. Well, really not a lot of data coming out, but a lot of price action in the charts. Pretty surprised when I looked at the charts today and saw a lot of reversals. I don't know if they're stop lines or what's going on, but you'll see. There's quite a bit going on in the charts today, and we only have Governor Carney is speaking today, and we have one piece of data in U.S. We'll get to that in just a second. All right, traders, let's get started. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I will tell you, I do record this during the Asia session. Traders, I started trading in 2006. 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, I'm in my 8th year, and I'm still in Thailand. Love the hours. I mean, if you're a trader, the Asia hours are just the best. I can actually be in all 3 trading sessions and still get a good night's rest. The New York session, I'm only in about 2.5 hours, and that brings me up to about 11 p.m. And I still get a good night's rest and still get a good 6 hours sleep, 7 hours sleep. So it's all good. So how do I trade? Well, I trade. I'm a technician. I love charts. I love looking at candlestick patterns, support, resistance, price action, price structure, all that good stuff that we use. I do use 2 indicators. I do use Ikimuku on some instruments that I trade, and I use harmonics on my Forex trading charts. What are harmonics? Harmonics are a bunch of Fibonacci number calculations, right? So if you use Fibonacci all the time, why wouldn't you use harmonics? I do listen to fundamentals all day long. You remember what macro traders, so I listen to what's going on around the world and what's coming up and who's coming out and speaking and all that good stuff to protect myself in my trades. So we must listen to fundamentals. You don't have to trade the fundamental news, but you need to be aware of it. However, I don't trade the numbers. I trade about 40 minutes after the number is released and trade the reaction to the numbers. There are traders out there that trade the numbers and do absolutely very well in their trading. I tried it. I'm just not good at it, so I don't do it. All right, that's just a little bit about myself. Let's get the risk disclaimer out of the way. This is the legal stuff. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most importantly, in fact, it is the most important part, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, that's the legal stuff. Let's get over to some news and commentary. Let's take a look at what's going on in the indices. Let's see if I can get my indices up here. There we go. Looks like they all closed in the red there on the U.S. The Dow 30, negative 1.29%. The S&P 500, negative 1.56%. The NASDAQ, negative 1.58%. The small cap 2000, negative 1.86%. That's not good. I got positions open. All right. The DAX closed at negative 0.29%. The FTSE 100 closed at negative 0.39%. The CAC 40 closed negative 0.58%. The Euro Stoxx 50 closed negative 0.68%. They also all in the red. All right, traders, let's come on over to Asia, where most of Asia is open. I'm doing this a little early today. I just couldn't sleep, so I got up and started doing some work early today. But the Nikkei 225 is open. It's currently negative 2.05%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is not open yet, and they closed yesterday at 1.84 in the green. The China A50 out of Shanghai was positive 0.10%. They are not open as of yet. The Hang Seng of Hong Kong is not open. However, they did close at 1.36 in the green. And the Kospi, which is currently trading, is negative 1.24%. Looks like the Asian markets are going to open in the red today. It looks like it's pretty bearish as far as that goes. Let's take a look at our economic calendar today. We did have some news earlier today. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, so what do we have here? We're going to see the New Zealand chart. I don't understand what happened with that, but that was like all over the place. Okay, so almost 3 hours into the London session, we have BOE Governor Carney speaking, like I mentioned before. Um, we have Red Book today, which is a low impact. However, medium impact, we have S&P slash CS HPI Composite. And we have medium impact services PMI today out of the US. And the big one out of the US is going to be CB consumer confidence for January. And that'll be a big one. I never saw this one before. Texas service sector outlook. I never saw that news data before. Wow. That's a new one for me. Okay, so that's what's going on. So not a big day as far as media goes. Have a lot of low impact news coming out, and there is some medium impact news, but not things that are going to like knock us off the table or anything like that. So I have to tell you, this commentary, I did look at the charts and tried to see what the heck was going on, and what I saw was, to me, the markets just look really confused. They're just like price action is all over the place. Luckily for us, if you followed the trade plan, and that's the big part of this, is that you follow the trade plan. Some of these trades you would have never gotten an entry in, so you wouldn't have taken a loss anyhow. So none of these look like they triggered. Some of them triggered yesterday, but most of them actually went in the opposite direction, so you would have never had a trade, and which is a good thing. And I think that's what we're gonna have to trade today. Don't chase the candles. If it doesn't come to you, let it go and let it do its thing until it comes to you, and it takes your entry. If you don't get in the trade, you don't get in the trade. Better be out of the trade and your account still active than not in the trade. And in the trade and lose your money, right? So just really stay focused on your trade plan. Really important. All right, here's the euro dollar. We had a little up run here. It's come back up to the 200 exponential moving average. It's sideways. This looks like the beginning of Asia. They did have some Kiwi low impact data. That must have been what bumped this up when they opened today. But this is really strange price action here. So we're looking to sell this, right? We want to sell it. So I need this to get below the 200 exponential moving average. I need a bearish engulfing candle, and we'll sell it at 1.0845. Yes, I do see that daily pivot point, and that's an issue. And that's an issue that you're going to have to make a decision on. Do you want to take that trade? Because two things are going to happen. It's either going to bounce or it's going to go sideways from there. And you're not going to be a lot of pips in profit at that point. You're only going to be about 10 pips in profit, maybe 7 pips in profit. So, your trade plan is going to have to involve that daily pivot, whether you're going to take that risk or not. And I'd put a very intelligent stop on your charts, probably like just above this 200, because you don't want to give this a lot of room. It's going to be a little challenging. Once it gets past the daily pivot, we're clear to our take profit zone, which is 1.0790. If we get the bearish engulfing candle, we have a really nice trade here on the euro. This is a London open trade, by the way. Here's the pound, and I saw this big red candle, and I just took this shot like within the last 25 minutes. And I don't know where this big red candle came from. I have my news feed on. I'm listening. There's nothing out. Like nothing. I don't know why all of a sudden the pound just decided to drop 15 pips. So we'll see what happens. This needs to pull back to 200 if it can. Let the S1 pivot now also. So we'll see what happens. This is, again, it looks like a London open trade. We're going to have to see what price is and what's going on. But this looks, again, it's bearish, and we want that, right? So we have some dollar strength, pound weakness, which we've had for some time. So we're bearish, and we're going in the right direction. The entry is going to be the issue. The other option is go down to a 15-minute chart and see if you can get into the trade on a 15-minute chart. Maybe you can do a fib and get in that way. But on this 30-minute chart, we need to see what happens here. And again, this looks like a London open trade. Here's another one that's already taken off on us, and that's the Aussie dollar. Again, no data coming out. This is Asia, and there is just nothing. Like what are you going to do with this? Yeah, you got to wait for this pullback. You can't trade this. I'm not chasing this. Even, as I say that and you look left of the chart, there is absolutely no price action. So this is quite a nice trade, to be honest with you. But if this pulls back to 0.6960, man, I'd love to get into it. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of hours and the next 2 or 3 candles and see how this works. So we're at support now, and let's see if this gives us a little bounce, and then we can get in this. I really just hate taking a blind trade, and where are you going to put your stop here, right? Where are you going to put your stop here if this doesn't pull back? You're going to end up with a 50 pip stop, and I'm not into a 50 pip stop. But the trade does look good, that's the problem. Where are you going to put your stop? The stop needs to go above the 200, right? And so we want to take profit at 0.6895. That'd be great, and that's what we're looking for. So we'll see how the Aussie goes. We are in the Aussie session, and like I said, there is no data. Okay, here's a Euro Aussie. This is a trade specifically that I was talking about. That this trade absolutely went right through our short order to go short. So we never triggered an entry for this trade. And I even said yesterday, be careful with this. This is in one of those modes, and this can just bounce and just head on up. That's just what it did. But look at how long it stayed sideways. Hours and hours and hours. It looks like New York afternoon brought it up. Now we're in Asia, and here we go. And we'll see what happens here. If you take it short from here, that's fine. But again, where's your stop going to go? Your stop's going to go above that all-1, right, at 1.5689, where we want to get in at. So I want to see a blue candle. I want this up there. Get up there. Get up there. And we'll sell it. And we'll take profits at this daily pivot there. There is some price action here at 1.5564. If it goes through it, we'll just keep riding it down. But we got a lot of support after that. And, I would probably get out at the daily pivot. I don't think I'd want to sit and watch that fight bouncing back and forth. So I'd probably get out of that one. So that's going to be a very, very interesting trade. And we'll just keep an eye on it. It's not necessarily a London Open trade, but we'll see how the rest of Asia goes. We still have an hour and a half of the active zone of Asia, so we'll see how that goes. All right, here's a Euro Yen. Quite ugly chart. It's just absolutely sideways. Really nothing going on. This has to close. I put a trend line on here. It's a 4-touch trend line, valid trend line. Got a daily pivot, which is it has a closed candle above it, and we have a 200 exponential moving average, all in the same area. You know what? Let this clear all this junk. There's our EA for support. And at 127.89, I'll start looking for a sell down to 127.23. I'll take my 60 pip trade from there. But I really don't want to get involved with this up here where it's currently at. Unfortunately for us, because that is a really nice move. And if we could have gotten in up here, our stop's right above here, next to the R1, maybe a little bit farther down. And then we'll just take it and ride it down and, just let this all happen. But we're not in the position to do that. So, and I'm not taking, no way am I going to take a short trade with this candlestick pattern with resistance right there, supports right here, the trend line, 200, EAs right there. There's your S1 pivot. Yeah, so we'll wait till we get to 127.89 and look. We want to get at 127.23. Take a look at the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar looks like it took off on us. Yeah, this is the same chart as yesterday. I used the same chart. I did that on purpose because we're at the same spot. This has already started its move, and now I'm waiting for this to pull back to that 0.6452, and we'll short it. We'll get out at 0.6405. I'll take the 50 pip trade any day, but I'm sure not going to do anything here. Like, this is in the middle of nowhere. Yes, it's in a nice downtrend, but this pair's been in a downtrend for a long time, so we're doing all right with that, and this is what we expect. But there it is, and we need a pullback. I don't want to short this from here, folks. Where are you going to put your stop, right? What's your drawdown? What percentage of your account are you going to use? What's your money management for this trade? That all has to come into factor before you enter this trade or any trade. And for me, I don't have a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio before I get to my take profit area. Now, I use a 3-to-1. Doesn't mean I'm going to get a 3-to-1, but I look at the 3-to-1. And I'll see it here. Do not see it, my friends. All right, that's what's going on with our 6 currency pairs. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me on a Tuesday, January 26th, 2016. Traders, have a great trading day. Always remember to trade smart and not hard. Traders, have a great trading day. And wow, I'm proud of myself. 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Perfect. Traders, catch you next time.